passionate about Civil War history. I believe it's our duty as citizens to know who we are and how we got here. Our past is all around us, and it's still possible to listen to the voices of the time. Okay, Ryan, so you've pulled some original, first edition. This is the real stuff, isn't it? This is sheet music from the period.
1860 sheet music, yeah.
Wow.
Music was just as important to people in American society during the 1860s, during the war, as it is today.
Back then, everybody participated.
That's right.
Everybody knew who the really good singer was.
That's right.
There were probably the Justin Biebers, you know, but his name was probably Jedediah Bieber. But he was a huge star. The music industry boomed as hits of the day documented living in a country at war.
A lot of history is written based upon people's later recollections, which tend to be, you know, softened over time. But the lyrics and the titles and the themes presented in the sheet music really captures the instant.
In the spring of 1861, tensions soared in Maryland, a state that had yet to declare its loyalty.
In many ways, the hot areas are the border states. So Maryland is deeply divided.
On April 19th, Union recruits traveling from Massachusetts to Washington, D.C., stopped to switch trains in Baltimore, Maryland. A fierce mob of Confederate loyalists blocked their route in protest.
Pretty soon the insults turned to rocks, and eventually shots were fired, and the Massachusetts troops, after refraining themselves for quite some time, they actually opened fire on the crowd, killing several people.
4 soldiers and 12 civilians were killed. Maryland native James Ryder Randall was horrified to discover that a friend had died at the hands of Union troops.
He was incensed that his hometown had been the scene of this terrible massacre. After a restless night, he wrote this poem, the memorable lines, "Maryland, she burns, she'll come, she'll join the Confederacy."
The Desposile is on my shore, Maryland, my Maryland.
It's a song that's pleading with Maryland to join the Confederacy as a way to right the wrongs of this riot that happened.
They still sing that song today at University of Maryland football games, don't they?
Yeah.
I had no idea that that song was really a plea from somebody begging the state to secede.
It became the state's song.
I bet there are a lot of people that sing it now that don't know that's why it was written.
That's right. It refers to the tyrant, the despot who's invaded the country of Maryland,
right,
and, you know, is trying to enforce the federal will. You know, it's another way of showing how the Civil War lives on.
Avenge the patriotic gore that flowed the streets of Baltimore. That's talking about the riot.
Exactly.
People really expected this kind of bloodshed on their streets, and that this would be the straw that would make them see the light. And that could have changed the war considerably. As it turned out, of course, Maryland never did join the South. By June 8, 1861, 11 states had seceded, defining the borders of the Confederate States of America. The battle lines had been drawn.